you keep it still again.
Okay, keep it still.
No, for you first.
Oh, okay. So we'd like to hear why you're here.
Don't move it.
Oh my God, what are you looking forward to at the Sony? To whom are you?
Yes.
Who are you going to watch?
Well, the Australian Davis Cup team, so Leighton Hewitt, Bernard Tomic and Marinko Matosevic. There are three guys playing singles. One of our boys has lost now in qualifying. Ooh. So, so those guys are obviously playing the singles for us in the next Davis Cup match. So I want to see how they're playing and how they're feeling.
Okay, cool. And what everyone at Match Point and on the internet wants to know is how do you string your racket? What's your setup?
Oh, good question. I use
and do you know?
Yeah, that's good. I use gut in the mains. I still like the natural gut. That's what I used to play with back when I played was full gut. But now everyone uses poly string. So, and my crosses is a string called MSB. It's out of Germany. Same thing as all the other polys, but I really like the feel of it. It's gauge 118, so it's quite thin, and I just find it complements my game. So I can still serve and volley. I still feel like I have really good control, and also still creates a spin if I want it. But I use the gut in the mains because that's where you get the main feel for your rackets.
Sure.
So some of the other players might do gut in the crosses, but for me, I prefer it in the mains.
Okay, cool. Do you get to play much? Are you still on the court much? Not just for coaching or captaining the team, but do you get to play?
I play a little bit, but it's I first of all I put Davis Cup aside first, and then when I finish with Davis Cup, if there's an opportunity to play some seniors events, I'll go and play some seniors. So last year in November I played in America a couple of events in November, so that was a lot of fun. But generally speaking, I don't get a lot of time to travel because I'm just too busy with Davis Cup.
Right, not much time for working out.
No, not much.
How about your kids? I heard that you had some kids. You have a boy and a girl. Do they get to play?
Yeah.
Are they interested?
Yeah, my boy's interested. He's 10 years old, and my daughter's 7. My daughter's more dancing and things like that. She's in that side of things. Our boy likes the outdoor sort of sports. My daughter's quite good. She's quite coordinated, but she doesn't really like it that much. My son plays about 4 times a week. He loves it. Yeah, he loves it, and it's obviously difficult for me to coach him, father-son sort of relationship. So I have a little window. If we hit for an hour, I have about a 5 or 10 minute window where I can tell him to do things and he'll listen. Other times he doesn't want to listen, and that's all good too. I understand that completely.
Right, absolutely. Oh, that's great. And so do you, when you're down at the Sony, are you in the, like, with the players on the court, or are you in the spectator? How does that work? I just, from an average person, like, wonder how that works.
Well, because I'm not with the guys all the time, I'll be very careful of what I say to them leading into the match. I will generally just find out how their heads, their headspace is, and if they're warming up, I'll probably just walk on the court with them, just show them that I'm there, and then I'll watch their matches and be involved, and I'll talk to them after their matches, because it's important for me to know how they're feeling, so that when I'm with them on court during Davis Cup, I know how they're feeling and what works for them. So, I've been doing it a couple of years, so I generally know the guys pretty well, but for me it's about just watching them for now, and then when we start training, we'll start the training camp up when some of the boys are finished. We're going to stay here in Florida for a few days and train, and then I'll be on court with them a lot and talking to them a lot, hitting balls with them a lot.
And where's your first match for Davis Cup?
It's our second match, and it's in Uzbekistan.
Oh, wow.
Oh, can't wait.
Wow, yeah, a little jet lag. That sounds like fun.
We're going to go via Munich, spend a few days training in Munich, and then Uzbekistan. It's not a place we want to get to early.
Oh, right.
It doesn't sound very nice where they're sending us, so we've decided to get there as late as possible.
So I have 2 questions for the ladies that I know who have asked me to ask you these before your time. Yeah. So do you hit the South Beach? You hit South Beach when you're at the Sony? Are you gonna check in the sites or the beach?
I live on the beach at home. Right on the beach, and it's beautiful.
Oh, it's right, it's Bermuda or something, right?
Well, no, I'm back in Australia now, so I live right on the beaches back in Australia, and can't beat the beaches there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So South Beach, I know it's a bit of a scene down there.
There's a good food too.
Good food, yes. Back when I played, we used to go in there for dinner sometimes, but I don't necessarily take my shirt off and walk the beach. I am 40 now, getting very soft.
Well, speaking of 40, since I'm 40, so how about the underwear model thing? This is the other question I had for you. You still doing that?
Yes. I did my last commercial for them about a week ago. So it was, I wasn't supposed to do any more commercials for them in my underwear. I decided I'd had enough, and they pulled me back in. They said, please can you do one more? So I've done one more, very painstaking commercial, but it was it was all tongue-in-cheek and very funny, and we tried to just have a lot of fun with the commercial. But I don't feel comfortable in my underwear anymore, so I'm just I'm done.
Okay. Last question.
Yes.
So do the hobbits come to vacation in the Great Barrier Reef? Do they swim over from New Zealand? That's what my kids want me to ask you. Do you get lots of
hobbits?
People who confuse the two and they ask you the silly question about
No, I've never ever been asked that question before, and no, I've never seen a hobbit.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not allowed in Australia. They got to stay in New Zealand.
Good for you.
I think some of them play for the All Blacks rugby team.
Oh, yeah, you're a rugby player too, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Thanks so much, Patrick.
Thank you.